Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. The idea of drinking in Chilliwack public parks is not going over too well. Sam Waddington says, "I'm sorry, Chilliwack." A new youth addictions treatment facility is now open, and the Fraser Valley Bandits came close, but no cigar. Thanks for watching. We are committed to providing local news and news that impacts our local audience from Harrison to Garrison, Greendale to Hope, and everywhere in between, including Agassiz, Cultus Lake, Little Mountain, Fairfield Island, Promontory, Chiacton First Nations, Yarrow, and Five Corners, Chilliwack. Our very special guests, we are going to have conversations with the people behind Traverse, which is a new youth facility to help young people get off drugs and alcohol. We'll also have an interesting conversation about what is happening with Chilliwack Fair, live in concert, sort of. All right, Chilliwack. Let's get started. Sneaking a cold alcoholic beverage into a public park or beach is not a new idea. Chilliwack City Hall has legally changed the rules for a few places where you can have a brew or a sip of wine. A pilot project is now going to run until October 31st. To help support the local economy while complying with all the provincial health orders, the City of Chilliwack is preparing to launch this pilot project at Vetter and Crossing Parks. Now, additional picnic tables and garbage facilities will be added to selected parks to accommodate the designated areas where, quote, responsible liquor consumption will be permitted. Well, social media, of course, lit up. Concerns ran from everything, including being drunk in public, to the fact that, well, people have been doing this for decades, so what's new with this? RCMP have charged a 67-year-old Langley man for operating a vessel without due care and consideration for other people. He sideswiped an indigenous canoe and forced a couple of people into Cultus Lake. That couple are okay. And then last weekend, a jet skier ran into a boat. Again, this was on Cultus Lake. A woman on the jet ski was taken to Royal Columbian Hospital with serious injuries, and the investigation into that accident is ongoing. The saga over former Chilliwack City Councillor Sam Waddington and breach of trust with city expenses is now over. Charges have been stayed. Waddington has admitted to wrongdoing. He apologized and repaid the money. Now, part of the expense controversy included money spent in Ottawa for a conference, as he was representing Chilliwack, and then the November 2017 Grey Cup and accommodation also in Ottawa. Mayor Ken Popoff issued a statement, and I quote, "Upholding public trust is an important part of being an elected official. As a municipal council, we have a duty as stewards and trustees of the public trust and under statutes to see that criminal and municipal laws are upheld. I would like to thank the former mayor and council for being passionate about this and initiating the investigation into Mr. Waddington's expense claims. Mr. Waddington's breach of our community's trust is deeply disappointing, but we are glad that he has taken responsibility for his actions and apologized for abusing his position of authority. With his public apology to the citizens of Chilliwack, we hope that this leaves this unfortunate time behind us." BC Transit, in alignment with TransLink, will be proceeding with mandatory use of face coverings, face masks, on buses in BC Transit communities. That's across the province and in the Valley, starting August 24th. Accommodations will be permitted for kids under the age of 5 and for those who cannot wear a face mask for health reasons. Bus Drivers Union was happy to hear that their drivers are not the ones that have to enforce this rule. Also, Walmart will now be asking their customers to mask up before entering any of their Canadian stores. In July 2018, the proposed 20-bed treatment center specifically targeting youth between the ages of 13 and 18 received its third reading from Chilliwack City Council. The unanimous vote was in favor of the zoning bylaw and amendment of the official community plan. In short, a piece of underused and quality impaired land not suitable for industrial or agricultural use. That'll be the site of the new Chilliwack Youth Treatment Center. Traverse, a new treatment center in Chilliwack, is now open to provide specialized support for youth in the Fraser Valley region who are living with substance abuse challenges. Dr. Stephen Esau with Pacific Community Resources Society spoke with chillTV about the facility. chillTV in conversation with Dr. Stephen Esau, the Director of Operations for Pacific Community Resources Society, Fraser East, and also involved with Traverse, if you will. It is the new youth treatment program and facility in Chilliwack for youth between the ages of 13 and 18. Dr. Esau or Steve, what do you prefer?
Steve's great.
Steve's great.
Yeah,
this is a lot different than what people have heard about in the Valley when it comes to treatment facilities like Kinghaven and Peardenville. That is for adults, male and female. This is for youth. This, correct me if I'm wrong, is a brand new concept for the Valley, but also for the Lower Mainland?
Yeah, so it's a treatment program, like you said, for youth, so 13 to 18 through the Fraser region. And it's unique in that it was basically written through 200 interviews with our Indigenous neighbors, with youth, with families with lived experience. We wanted them to write this program and create something really special, which created this really relationship-based treatment program for youth that are struggling with substances and mental health. And they created a really cool nature-based program for the youth to attend, and they can stay up to 6 months there and have full 24/7 staff. It's a really cool, fun program.
And you touched on some interesting notes there, because it's more than just getting off of booze, getting off of drugs. It's reacquainting yourself with the real world. The outdoor aspect, the exercise aspect. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, so we have 3 different groups that we run every single day. So there's an explore group in the morning where we're really working on, say, values and identity, and we keep that theme throughout the day. So the second groups are our Traverse group, which, by the way, Traverse was actually named by youth. We bought them pizza and gave our philosophy, and they named it because I didn't want an adult to name it. And we go off-site for our Traverse group. So it might be rock climbing. It might be just playing basketball on site because we have the basketball court on site too. Or maybe it's whitewater rafting. It's really learning how to face our fears and knowing that you're not alone in those fears. So our staff will walk along beside them. We do some great counseling sessions hanging from a wall doing rock climbing. So it's a really cool way to do therapy.
And you were saying face your fears, and I guess the tongue-in-cheek joke is you are within eyesight of the Molson Coors brewery. And we were talking about this off the air. You were actually kind of glad it was there because you want to face that, because in the real world, you're going to see beer ads and such, and you're going to have to deal with that. The other thing that I found very fascinating was the actual build. It's not a chain link fence. It was small little aesthetics like a cedar fence. And why was that?
Yeah, so it was a collaboration with BC Housing, and the funding for this program, I should say, comes through Fraser Health. But BC Housing came along as a partner, which is really helpful, and we said, we want this to not look like a treatment center. We want this to look warm, welcoming, soothing to the eye, so include as many plants, green space, all those sorts of things on site, which they took pride in, so cedar fencing instead of chain link, like you mentioned. And it's we had a local artist paint a local BC mountain peak on every single dorm room instead of just a number. So they're staying in Mount Rexford or Mount Shiam as opposed to room 20. So there's a lot of attention to detail throughout this whole process. And yeah, it's a brand new build, so big help from BC Housing and CHP Architects as well.
With the youth being 13 to 18, now, are referrals going to be coming through Ministry of Family, or if somebody has a child or a relative, do they just come to you and say, look, what do I do? How do I get my son, daughter, niece, nephew in?
And that raises a couple good points. But first off, yeah, so if a family's interested, we can totally link them to someone that could help them with that referral. It's through Fraser Health. Online right now, they have the intake form that can be filled out, but you do it through a case manager. So it's a Fraser Health contracted, say, physician or counselor or an MCFD social worker could do it as well. But if there's any confusion, people can just reach out to us, and we'd be happy to navigate that with them so that it's less of a barrier. And the other aspect is, from all our interviews with people, they really wanted family involvement. They wanted more communication. They wanted to know about the program. So we have 6 different aspects that involve family in it, from celebration days to maybe counseling with them. And so it's a family program, not just a place to send a youth away. And eventually you want to merge not only your program, but traditional's 12-step occasionally to be brought in, like AA and NA. Is that kind of down the road? Yeah, absolutely. So we're totally open to that. It's an eclectic model of several different kinds of therapy, so that each youth, because they make their own goals, it's a subjective goal. We don't make the goals for them. So it's their goals, and we want to do anything we can in our programming to help match those goals. And so when we talked about the relational focus, the goals could be learning about their own culture, their history of spirituality and the genealogy of their families, to healing relationships with past hurts and traumas, to also healing relationship with nature. So how do we get them getting connected back to nature?
Dr. Stephen Esau, Director of Operations, PCRS, Fraser, East, and Traverse. And again, you are always welcome here. And once again, for anyone who wants more information, go through Fraser Health.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Esau, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. The Chilliwack Fair wraps up this weekend with another drive-in concert featuring a covers band, Judy Tuesday. chillTV spoke with one of the organizers, Trevor McDonald, on the drive-in concert idea. chillTV's News of the Week with Trevor McDonald of McDonald Entertainment, 89.5 The Drive, and the Chilliwack Fair, doing things, for obvious reasons, a little bit differently. Trevor, last weekend, the first of the drive-in concerts, the concept that we all thought would work. It did. The attendance for Todd Richard and Appaloosa were amazing. And do we have a total count of cars and people who showed up for last weekend's show?
Well, first of all, John, thanks for taking the time to talk to me about this. We're thrilled at how Friday's show went with Todd Richard and Appaloosa. About 35 cars, Don, full of people enjoying a really cool show. The musicians loved it. Every time they finished playing, the car horns were beeping and the headlights were flashing, and people really enjoyed it. And it's our attempt at putting at least some sort of live music together. And just cheers and kudos to all the hard work that Nicole Williams and the Chilliwack Fair have done to keep this Chilliwack Fair going through thick and thin through this COVID pandemic. Bless their hearts for supporting local artists, and it's been a really great experience. Looking forward to Saturday, Don, starting at 1 o'clock this week.
And how appropriate that we're doing this in your car. Saturday is basically a full day of shows, of concerts.
It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a good one. I'm very proud to be booking the entertainment for this event once again. And we have some killer entertainment. So a quick wrap up of how it works out is it's going to be 50 cars allowed per show. So you can go on to the chilliwackfair.com website and you can pick what show you want to see. You can pick your parking spaces and sit back and relax. We have a half an hour gap between bands for you to exit and enter. So that's going to be interesting, but we're going to try and pull it off. 1 p.m. we have a band known as Full Tilt, Chilliwack rock and roll band, very, very good. 3 o'clock we have a band called the KOs. They're from Yarrow, so we invite all Yarrow to come out and support at least 50 cars worth of Yarrow to come out and support the KOs. 5 o'clock, we have Stiletto, and tickets are going fast for that 5 o'clock show, so make sure you log in and grab some for that. 7 o'clock, we have Chilliwack's own Judy Tuesday, which is our former Mayor Clint Hames, Judy Hill, and they're the house band for the Chilliwack Chiefs, so I thought it fitting to bring them out, and it's been a long time since they've played live. And last but not least, at 9 p.m., we have Totally Tom Petty, an incredible Tom Petty tribute. Now they're usually in Las Vegas, but due to COVID, they're stuck in Vancouver. So we were happy and very fortunate to get them here in Chilliwack for the 9 o'clock show this Saturday night. Once again, chilliwackfair.com, and tickets are still available.
I saw Perfectly Petty last fall at the Cultural Center. Amazing show. And Judy Tuesday is always a blast. And in fact, the entire day is going to be incredible. The forecast is for highs around 30.
Yes.
So will there be lemonade stands, or how is this going to work now?
So because of the BC health regulation, we can't have people there for too long a time. So that's why we're selling shows separately. It can't be a long event where you could watch, 4 or 5 shows at once. We're just trying to get our favorite bands and get their fans out to see those bands in separate occasions. So that's why we're doing the 90-minute shots at a time. It's basically just your chance to come out and support live artists and local artists here in town. And frankly, support the Chilliwack Fair for all the good they've been doing. We'd sure appreciate your buying some tickets and, and being a part of something really special, a first time here, and hopefully last time.
Yeah. And again, a tip of the hat to Nicole and the entire crew at the Chilliwack Fair. One sidebar, and I'm curious because of you're obviously booking, when you're not playing, you're booking acts. You, Rob Warwick with Rocket Boy, the medium and smaller sized promoters. How have you been able to get through a year like this? You've had the Chilliwack Fair, but some of the other guys, they're in it tough.
You know, I've been telling everybody in the industry, you pivot or sadly you disappear. You know, I've gone into different forays here in my work, but as you know, I have my Ultimate 80s radio show, which has been good for me. But as far as the bookings go, this time last year, I had 16 rooms that I was booking great local talent into. And as it sits right now, there's only 3 rooms open of those 16. So the forecast, like the weather, is looking better. We're fingers crossed. But if we don't keep the direction of the COVID count going down, I'm afraid we're going to see, the worst of this. With totals like 45 a day coming in, we have to see that go way down in order to get this back to some form of normal live entertainment again.
And getting back to a positive note here, chilliwackfair.com for ticket information?
Definitely, Don. Thank you for that. chilliwackfair.com. Support this great community event. These guys have been going for over 140 years through a world war. Nothing can stop them. Bless their hearts, the Chilliwack Fair. And I'm going to be there all day long, and I look forward to seeing you as well.
You got it. Trevor McDonald, 89.5 The Drive, McDonald Entertainment, Chilliwack Fair. Again, Trev, as always, the door is always open on our end here. Keep us in the loop.
You're doing great work, Don, and thanks to the team there. Have a great day, guys.
You too, Trevor. That's Trevor McDonald, and you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. Coming from a 4-16 inaugural season to losing in the CEBL Summer Series Finals, nothing to sneeze at, the Edmonton Stingers achieved Canadian basketball glory last Sunday, defeating the Fraser Valley Bandits and exercising the demons that lingered with the team after suffering a heartbreaking 2-point semifinal defeat to the CEBL's inaugural season champs, the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Now, following a very successful summer series that saw the league's product on and off the court elevated to new heights, now comes the question, will there be a regular season next year, or will it again be another summer series in 2021? And no one from the CEBL or the Fraser Valley Bandits have been able to answer that question just yet. The BC Football Conference, Valley Huskers, the Langley Rams, in fact, all of Canadian junior football has had their season canceled. And we talked to Valley Huskers head coach Bob Reist for what happened and what might happen next year. chillTV Sports, and as you know by now, the Canadian Junior Football League pulled the plug on major junior football throughout the entire country. Bob Reist, the head coach of the Valley Huskers, is joining us. Bob, if I can read part of the statement that CJFL Commissioner Jim Pankovich put out. It's very disappointing to make this announcement, but our priority is the health and safety of our players, coaches, staff, team administrators. Our team plays an important role in our communities. All CFL or CJFL teams will continue to engage with their players and communities as regional public health regulations allow. That being said, Bob, when we were pretty much starting to all go into lockdown in March, did we have an inkling then that they would pull the plug on junior football, or when did this process of making the shutdown of the season actually happen?
Well, I mean, I think since going back to early March there, I think the overwhelming feeling was hope, that we were hoping we were going to have a season, and the word that we kind of got from the league and from our conference as well is, that we should continue to prepare for a season, and it looked like things are headed in the right direction. But unfortunately, like with the health concerns and, just our, what we're allowed to do in BC, and still not gather more than 50 people makes it really tough to go forward with the football season. And unfortunately it came at the last second kind of, to cancel. I mean, we had kids, getting ready to move out here and make huge commitments and changes in their lives. So it's unfortunate that the news broke so late, and came in so late, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I would also the parents doing the billets. Is everything, though trying to put a positive spin on this, is everything kind of in place for next season with parents that want to billet, with players that are looking at 2021?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we took some good strides here in assembling some billets and getting the billets going. Obviously that relationship will have to carry over as, into the next season and into this year's off season, extended off season. So we continue to put ourselves in a good position for bringing in kids from out of town and being able to house them.
Both the Valley Huskers and those guys up the road, the Langley Rams, obviously there is a financial hit. Some teams across the country seem to have more cash than others. The Valley Huskers, there's a ton of volunteers. Financially, are you able to take this hit and look towards 2021?
Yeah, I mean, our focus is to prepare for 2021. Absolutely. For sure, not having a season, comes with some financial restrictions. You're not bringing in as much money as you normally would, but at the same time, we're not spending any money this year either, right? So I think, from a program's perspective and from the volunteers and the whole organization, I think this gives us time to truly be prepared for 2021 and to get out there and start raising money earlier than we normally would, and put ourselves not only in a position to be prepared for 2021, but put ourselves in a position to be, continuously successful past 2021. So I think, this extended break, while it certainly sucks for coaches and players, and I do think it's a bit of a reprieve for the organization itself, and to get, make sure that we're in good standing heading into 2021, which I fully expect we should be.
And of course, now we can start making the pitch for those who want to get involved in advertising and sponsorship for the Huskers. And that now's the time to, if you want to get a jump start on next season, do it now, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got our board going around talking to businesses and organizations around locally, with that line and exactly with what they're saying, is get behind this program. There is no season this, but we're still building as a program. We still need your support as a program. And there's lots of things that we can be doing as a program in this extended off season to be giving back to the community and to be, very active in our community while we're not playing football.
Has there, and I would totally understand if there was no talk in between the leagues, but have you heard anything about the CFL? I mean, there was talk of Winnipeg being a hub city, maybe Regina, and then we've heard crickets the last few days. Any word on what they're going to do, or has that been pretty quiet?
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea with what the CFL is going to do. Again, same thing. You hear we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that. I think just so much of it, especially with football compared to other sports, we're so reliant on whether the health authorities are going to allow us to gather as a group, and how does that look for practicing and playing. And, so I really don't see the CFL bypassing that, those problems. I think the issues are still going to be the issues. And to be honest, I haven't heard anything on that front in a little bit.
So let's get back to the Huskers. If you're interested in sponsorships and that, reach out to you or reach out to the Huskers website.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hit me up personally, and I can throw my number out there, or you guys can put it in a link or whatever. Yep. But it's 431-777-8180. Or you can hit us up at valleyhuskers.ca. Or on Facebook, Instagram, any of our social medias. Just drop us a line. So you're interested in sponsoring or billeting or anything along those lines, volunteering. We'll certainly be getting back to you right away.
And just to stick it to the guys down the road and to another province, at least the Saskatoon Hilltops and the Langley Rams are not going to win a national title this year. Wink, wink.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There won't be a title for those guys this year.
I'm enjoying that. I'm going to let some of the Saskatoon people see this. Bob Reist, Valley Huskers head coach, a big thank you for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Always a pleasure. Thanks.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. ChillTV weather, mid-August temperatures at first didn't show a major heat wave. How things change in a hurry. It will be a mix of sun and cloud. A slight chance of showers, but highs in the upper 20s to low 30s this weekend. If you would like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.